What is going on, guys? Welcome back. Commentary for you. One of my sponsors, Steel Supplements. Link and discount code down in the description. You also know I talk so much about my Glance LED. Today is the day, opening day for at least the Baltimore Orioles, just a few hours away, if not already passed. Once you've watched this, in a great way to keep up to date with all the other sports, all the other news, stocks, weather, whatever it is that you want to be kept up to date with while you're watching other sports, while you're watching opening day, while you're watching this YouTube video on your TV, which a lot of you are doing, by the way. Glance is the way to go. Link in the pinned comment, 10% off, no subscription fee. That's the best part. To me, that's the best part of all of this. You don't have to pay each month for the data. All it's going to do is just simply for free give you premium data to the unit, update you at a glance. I know this thing is a true game changer. Once you get it, you're not going to know how you lived without it. Now, I let this kind of marinate for a couple days. I wanted to see the pulse of the community. And we've got some pre alpha photos from Electronic Arts. Now, listen, I'm just going to lead this off with pre alpha. We should be in the alpha stage, if not the beta stage. So it's interesting, again, that a game that's been delayed by a year continues to just kind of be behind what it should be. Now, I understand they don't have to show anything. If they don't want to show gameplay, if they don't want to show images, fine. EA, though, has no problems in the past showing tons of footage that was generated through a computer, not actual gameplay, clipped together gameplay to make the game appear better than it actually was, or that the game was doing things it was incapable of. Go back to Madden '06. We got a full-blown CGI trailer. So why all of a sudden today we're showing watermarked pre-alpha footage of what is essentially an empty stadium? But there are a couple things that I want to point out when it comes to attention to detail. And I know some of these things have been spoke about as the NFL kind of roadblocking EA, but I couldn't help but notice how nice it looks to have not a completely packed crowd. I couldn't help but notice how it's nice to have a full city skyline that looks much more detailed than Madden, an atmosphere to that point that looks much more detailed than Madden. Of course, you've got kind of your players and everything lined up in the static pose, which is to be expected. I will say, one of the things that I thought was the most interesting is we really don't see, and I just went through with MLB The Show, a lot of lighting, shading, a lot of dynamic visuals. We just kind of see, hey, here's bright daylight, overcast, and here's a night game. One of the things that I think EA has really struggled to capture, even though they've tried to, is the full spectrum of lighting change. And I know it seems like a small thing, but when you're playing the game and you see a cloud go over the field, or when you're playing the game and you see the gradual change of lights, or the gradual degradation of the field, those things mattered. When we go back and we look at past games, it all comes down to immersion. And I think that's one thing EA has really failed with is immersion. You don't feel like the games are different. You don't feel like you're playing with the actual players. And instead, you get a very stale and repetitive experience. And I hate to say it, when you look at this game, the first thing you think of is Madden if you don't think of college football, college stadiums, college players. And I think EA really has to do a lot to differentiate between the college game and Madden. And almost as negative as the sentiment is around Madden, I think EA has to do a lot to separate itself, even though clearly it's going to be on the same engine. Clearly, it shares a lot of similarities in the look. I think they'd really have to do something to separate themselves and establish themselves as their own game that hopefully doesn't have all the same issues that Madden does. I would love to know your thoughts on this. I appreciate you watching this video. You know I will be back, hopefully after an Orioles win tomorrow with more content.